What a nice
What a
smell.
nice
What a nice smell.
smell, my dear.
What a nice smell. Don't burn it, mate. You are listening to Reggae Kitchen.
Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen.
Reggae Kitchen.
Good evening and welcome and good evening to Reggae Kitchen, your cookery experience with a reggae beat. We are broadcasting on fusoradio.net from the Kirkstal studios, and today is Tuesday 11th of November. Tonight here in the studio we are the hosts, the usual one, the Brixtonheights crew. Good evening, fellow Brixtonhighters.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Yuka.
Good evening, chef. I say chef to myself. Good evening.
And good evening, Mighty Dop, the mighty shelf Dario for tonight.
Or the mighty shelf. Anyway, let's go.
This is a new project for the Brixton Heights crew, a new show that we have decided to make entirely in English to allow people from around the world to have the chance to recreate at home our special recipes.
And for the first time for us, with the video support.
In fact, you have a video support. You can see our video later, and we'll have the link in the comments. And you can see our chef's hand while he's preparing the delicious food of our recipe of Reggae Kitchen. Of course, there is gonna be a lot of music as usual, and every month a different recipe will be cooked by our chef Dario. There will be also two segments by our anthropologist Yuka Pipitone that we will discover a little bit later. But
Let's
now
see.
it's time for Chef Dario to tell us what's the main of the day. What's cooking, chef?
What's cooking tonight? It's aubergine alla Parmigiana. As you can see in my hands, lovely aubergine, which is one of the ingredients tonight. So aubergine, 500 grams of chopped tomatoes, 200 grams of mozzarella cheese, 50 grams of parmesan. We have some garlic, basil, vegetable oil to fry the aubergine, and some olive oil directly from grandma from Italy. And we're gonna, I'm gonna start to cook. Then, you can do whatever you want, but I'm gonna start to cook.
Why not? Why not? Anyway, there is also some flour, a pinch of oregano, and one bunch of basil. One bunch of basil, which is the food that makes you feel good. One of the little segment of Yuka Pipitone, who can tell us about the qualities and the benefits of basil.
Basil is actually the king of herbs and is an aromatic herb belonging to the mint family. Tonight we are using the Italian large leaf that pairs well with tomato flavors and in our Parmigiana. But there are more than 40 kinds of these pungent plants, each with its own characteristic color and aroma. Depending on the variety, basil can be green, white or purple, but it is basil medical properties rather than its culinary value that extend the herb uses. Like other aromatic plants, basil contain essential oils and phytochemicals that have biological activities in the bodies. The herbs contains high quantities of beta carotene, which may be useful in treating arthritis and inflammatory bowel disease. Also, it's good to reduce inflammation and swelling by up to 73% 24 hours after the treatment. Also, it's got anti-aging properties and is rich in antioxidants. Whatever your tastes and preferences, basil can be a welcome addition to your kitchen, adding flavor and personality to dishes while providing an added health boost.
Well, well, well. Very good. This basil.
The king of herb, I should say, which is from a Greek word,
What's the Greek word?
basileum,
Which means
king.
king. King of the herb, basil. Lots of good qualities, but now it's time to go with the first tune. A nice time the Zappo. Roosevelt label. 7-inch from Yucca Pipitone Record Collection. This is Reggae Kitchen with our chef, which is very busy. With Yucca Pipitone, our anthropologist. And this is the Brixton Heights crew, Reggae Kitchen.
Reggae Kitchen. You're listening to Reggae Kitchen.
Come back again, concerning and peace are reign. Goose and dog are friend again. What a nice time. Love, brother. Are you ready? Peace up, brother. Peace up. If you like up the music, they do bad. Freedom. Woo! Are you ready? Nice time, come back again. Take a doctor round the bend. Dance all night and never fight. What a nice time. What a nice time tonight. I wanna tell you about it.
You are listening to Reggae Kitchen.
Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen.
Reggae Kitchen.
Oh my dear.
Back in the Kirkstal Rudio, the Rude Boy studio, with the original Brixton Heights crew, with our chef, which is now chopping the mozzarella. Before I was showing him crushing the garlic with a knife.
Yeah, actually, I'm on step of cutting almost everything. I cut the aubergine, as you can see. Mind the knife when you work in the kitchen, always. I cut the aubergine and put some salt. So we're gonna wait that the water is gonna come out from the aubergine. While we're waiting, I flavor the oil where I'm gonna fry the aubergine with some garlic, and I'm doing the sauté for our sauce for the aubergine alla Parmigiana, which is a normal Napoletan sauce with some oregano, basil, and garlic. So at the moment, as you can see, I'm shallow fry the basil and the garlic. Then I'm gonna add the tomatoes, and chopping the the mozzarella, and we're almost there. Almost
Chopping
there.
everything.
Chopping everything. We are almost there to fry the aubergine. I'm gonna wait another 10 minutes for the water to come out while I'm cooking the sauce. And what I'm gonna say to our listener that as you can, I know you heard about the basil, which is really the king of the herb, but I think the king of the herbs is another herb that we can't mention, but we will mention because I'm sure we're gonna do a dessert in 5 minutes with the best herb in the world. But today we are using basil.
Talking about basil, chef.
yes.
We're using the Italian one, the large leaves
Yes.
tonight, because it goes very well with tomato. It goes very well with tomato sauce. But for the Parmigiana or for any other Italian recipe with basil, can you use any other kind of basil, like the purple one, more minty?
In Italy, we have two kinds of basil. Like south of Italy is normal large leaf, and then north of Italy is normal small leaf. In fact, the pesto, which is the sauce famous from Genova, is made with the small leaf of basil, which you can find only in one region of Liguria, which is near Camogli, which is a little town near Portofino. Basically, my grandma used to use the large basil to eat raw and the small basil to actually chop and do the cooking with it. I'm gonna add some salt to the sauce and a little pinch of oregano, as we said in the list of the ingredients of the recipe, and then I'm gonna simmer it for 10 minutes and then add some fresh chili. We are using a French chili, which are very long. They're very similar to the Calabrian chili, but the Calabrian chili is a bit shorter.
Are they spicy?
It's kind of spicy. I'm gonna wash my knife because we chopped the knife with the mozzarella, so we have to wash it. I think it's gonna be a good dish.
I'm gonna say something really trivial maybe for you, chef, but I saw you crushing the garlic because they say don't cut the garlic. Maybe some listeners, they don't know that you don't have actually to cut the garlic, but to crush it with a knife to release.
It depends. The best way to do it is to actually take the skin off and then cut the garlic in two and take the little, we call it, as a chef, we call it the little soul of the garlic, which is the green part that makes you feel, when you digest, it comes back in your mouth, like you really feel like garlicky, and also is lighter. To have a lighter scent of garlic, obviously you crush it and then you take it off, like I just did from the oil where we're gonna fry the aubergine, and then I'm gonna take it out from the tomato sauce. Now I'm gonna chop the chili really rustic, because this is a rustic dish. We don't wanna have it too much, so we add a large chili. I'm just gonna use half and keep it quite big. So who finds it is the lucky one, as you can see. Put it in there. I don't want to saute with the other herbs or tomato because it's gonna get too chili. So I just put it raw when I put the tomato, and so the sauce continues to cook and the chili is not too strong.
An amazing live recipe, Yuka.
A really amazing recipe, actually one of my favorite. And I should also underline what the chef said in the beginning, which would make the trick of Parmigiana, which is the salt on top of the raw aubergine. Because the aubergine, they will release the water, and the flavor of the fruit will be the real and fully taste flavor. So this is a little bit trick. Before you work with them when they raw, you put some salt on top and help the aubergine to release the water.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm gonna show on the camera, there's already little drops of water coming out. If I go like that, some water is gonna come out. So we're gonna wait another 5 minutes, and then this is a very quick Parmigiana. Obviously, usually you wait until they're fully drained with water. Sometimes you can even press the aubergine so the water comes out quickly. But this is a quick recipe. The program is an hour, so live recipe.
We have to be quick.
Live
recipe indeed, but now it's time to go with another tune. It's Jesse Royal, Modern Day Judas. It's a very new tune, brand new selection from the Brixton Heights crew.
2014.
2014, and if you haven't listened to, listen to Reggae Espresso on Fuso Radio.
People you're right, and them still choose to show you hate. Sure, run them out of your yard. From them I play bad girl, I them a backbiters. Hypocritical to sideless, we call them modern day Judas. The spreaders of rumors, oh them a backbiters. Hypocritical to sideless, we call them modern day Judas. Spreaders of rumors. Hey, hey, so why should I be afraid of you when you bleed just like I do? The more you try fight, judge a light keeps shining through. So I've got no time for you, cause in my view you wanna step in on my shoe. You wish you never leave a loo and feel so damn confused. How every day you wake you ache because you know you're fake, and every step you take I bring you closer to your grave. But I am like a column when I easily shake. Me certain say I feel me none of who can't take. We guided by the monster, defender of the faith. Yes, ordained to be great. Oh, them a backbiters, hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas, the spreaders of rumors. Oh, them a backbiters, hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. But your teeth and tongue gonna let you down. Reward for your words shall be profound. Oh, screw all you want, but go loo and drown. Me slew you like Goliath with a stone from a crown. Not even the dog that is set on the wall of Babylon shall escape in this time. So word to the wise, choose the right side, and down to be hindered by your foolish pride. I said no weapon formed against I and I shall prosper, prosper. So tell me so force ripe and Marga dog disrespect and face disaster. Cause them a backbiters, hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. Oh, them a backbiters, hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. But I'm on deny concoctions you brew. You can't give me spliff when me never see a slew. You can't give me stew, not even cashews. And some a say me paro, some a say I never reviews. But I can't forget what I done to the Jews, and what his friends did to the tough gang too. All in the name of suppressing the truth. But I absolute me, them can't pollute. Cause them a backbiters, hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. Oh, them a backbiters, hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. Oh, them a backbiters, hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas.
Reggae Kitchen, Reggae Kitchen, Reggae Kitchen,
You're listening to Reggae Kitchen.
delicious, delicious, Reggae Kitchen, delicious.
Again, in the studio, again with us, the Brixtonheights crew. This is Reggae Kitchen, the first reggae radio program on Fuso Dub 2.0, where you can see the hands of the chef cooking. There is a video with the preparation of the food.
It's so crazy, Gigi. It's so crazy. I can't believe we are here cooking in the Kickstarter studio kitchen lab. And the sauce is cooking, the sauce is simmering. The aubergine are ready to pan fry and pass through flour and egg. In fact, I'm sure you want to talk about this thing.
Yeah, of course. I want to talk about flour and eggs for the frosting of the aubergine. How do you say the process of putting eggs and flour on the aubergine?
Well, you in English you say you can breaded, but usually
Yeah.
is being used usually if you use bread. But
Yeah.
in this case, we could say we pass the aubergine in the flour and then in the egg, and then we cook it. It's a process. There's not really a name for that. It's like, you know what I mean?
Somebody can do it with the bread, we say. In my house, I remember when I was a kid, my mom used to make the chicken fillet with the egg and bread as a panatura, as
Yeah.
breading.
Yeah.
But we are using tonight egg and flour.
Yes, which is the usual one. I would say the south use flour and egg, the north use just flour, and the more light people they just grill it or pan fry it with nothing, basically. And I think it depends how you want it heavy, you know, because in this way we're doing it, it's kind of heavy, but we like it heavy. But if you want to do it light, I would strongly recommend to do it with flour. But tonight we are gonna do flour and eggs. I think we're almost ready. I'm gonna check the aubergine. Let's see. Obviously tonight we forgot to buy the absorbing paper, and we're using toilet paper, which is the best. When you don't
do
have
it.
it,
We
you
do
can
it.
As
We
you
do
can
it.
see, I'm gonna try to dry the aubergine, so they're not too wet to fry. Some water just came out. I'm gonna try to do the thickest one that I have. I'm gonna switch on the fire for the oil. So we're gonna wait a bit for the oil to warm up, and we are ready to roll. So
King Tubby, Dub Plates Tight is the table. Trials and Tribulation from Ras Dimo is the tune. On Alibaba Rhythm, very famous. This is Fuso Dub 2.0. Reggae Kitchen.
Those who suffering and in a distress, make we sweep up the problems and clean up the mess. Yeah, me not no easy if so then confess. Nothing that we go through every day is a test. So I know what you're going through. Nobody I feel it too. Yeah, I know what you're going through. When you're sad and feeling blue. I know what you're going through. But just remember him, I watch you over you. Him I guide you every day, every day, every day. Me not homeless, but I guess we can imagine what the hungry and the homeless them a go through. Just trying on them shows for the day if you think you can cope. No, for you wouldn't know if you do. Some bar with gold spoon in them mouth, don't know what it's like to be without. Certain small things them take for granted and all a show. Them win a grand and dash it away while the poor will cash it out. Cash it out because they've got to. When really have saved them one save and put the money up in a bank. Praise the Lord every day and give thanks. And this little piece of brought I get them out the swamp. Rent get paid, if them take off the clamp. TV license for pay, Babylon the ramp. Landlord a run go down and bathroom full up a dam. Can't play your music loud, them why you turn down your amp. How will them warm it up, when them warm it up? It's the test. I know what you're going through. Nobody I feel it too, yeah. I know what you're going through. When you're sad and feeling blue. I know what you're going through. And just remember he's always there for you. He might guide you every day, every day, every day. Certain days me have to wonder where me I get my next money from. Mountain rate and me don't even make a grand. One time the empress feel the pressure when me don't have my half to pay the rent or she pay the rent. Man, there's things like that some way take for granted. We have place for parents, some people don't have one. Them don't have an address, we get to occupation. And I try better live life with so much temptation.
Delicious. Delicious. Reggae Kitchen. Delicious.
Gladys Anderson and Lynn Tate, Love Me Forever version, and we're gonna talk about Parmigiana, our dish of the day here on Reggae Kitchen. Parmigiana is an Italian dish, we said it at the very beginning, but it's a dish that has disputed origin because Italy is a big country, talking about food, has big tradition, and melanzane parmigiana is a bit contended from the north and the south. The name suggests that it's from Parma region, is from the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy in the center. Some versions say it's from the north, even further north than there. Some other versions say it's from Naples or from Sicily. We have our own Parmigiana where we come from, me and Yuka, from Puglia, and the name Parmigiana is just for the exotic taste of the Parmigiano, which is a cheese typical of the northern region. But the versions are infinite. There are a lot of versions. Yuka wanted to talk about versions of Parmigiana, melanzane Parmigiana.
As Italy is a very regional country, this reflects also in the food, which means then a national dish, which like would be Parmigiana or lasagna, have got many variety and many different versions. It depends which region you're gonna go to. Like my version, where I grew up from the southeast of Italy to the very bottom end of southeast of Italy, is with meatball, with cheese and mortadella, which is kind of cured
Mortadella.
Ham. Yeah.
So in the version which I came from, we also add boiled eggs, so it's much heavier. It's not only the aubergine, the fried aubergine with the tomato sauce and basil, but we add the slice of boiled egg, a little meatball, cheese, and mortadella, which is cured ham.
Mozzarella.
So
Crazy. This
meatballs,
is the
mortadella,
crazy version, man.
boiled eggs.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you know, it's
It's a rich dish. It's heavy. It's like a brick, sort of. It's a main dish. You can eat Parmigiana and that's it. For your
Can
meal.
I?
Of course.
Oh, thanks. As he said, it's a regional dish. So every region have a different version. What we're doing tonight is basically a general southern version, which I found the easiest to do. Well, actually, the easy one is just flour, or even not even just nothing, not even flour or eggs, or you know. As a summer dish, you would like to be a light dish. In some region, it's heavy. In some other region, is very light. So you know. Still a good dish, and still a dish that we're gonna taste tonight.
Of course we're gonna taste it. That's what Reggae Kitchen is for, the tasting at the ends. But there is also another reason why we have a little segment from Yuka Pipitone, but we'll discover it later. We're gonna go with the record right now. Yuka, you hand me a very nice record, Train from the West, on Winfrix label.
Actually, this is an old version of this tune that many reggae listeners will know, and this Hugh Roy singing a version of Train from the West.
Let's run the tune then.
Here's a heavy about to work on your building of peace, love, and togetherness.
What got it cool? If we on the tree, they got the one to blame, cause they're gonna remain the same. Cause I'm leaving on a westbound train. Yeah, the train of happiness is I will tell you. Mama, westbound train is I will tell you. The best in any tends from east to west, called the westbound train. Baba train, Baba train, Baba train. To be baby, let me tell you, I'm a leaving on a westbound train. Gonna leave it on a westbound train. To be daddy cool. Ha! You sure? I take a train, took a train, took a train, took a train. Why daddy got to heave away to tell you? Gonna leave it on a westbound train. See your baby got the one to be the bleed, they got my feet to make me see what's not until you say. Why got it cool? You got to believe me. You got to believe me. The sound's gonna make a queen. Yeah. Do it again. But I will tell you when the one see your face again. So stick around the band and tell your friend as I would say, I'm leaving on the westbound train. I see you leaving on the westbound train. And Papa train, Papa train, Papa train, Papa train, Papa train, Papa train, Papa train. Yes! Tell you. On the westbound train, on the westbound train. Cool guys. You can check Mr. Wayne. Yeah, you can check Mr. Wayne in the rain. I'm telling you, I'm living on a westbound train. Yeah, I wanna take a plane. Yeah, you gotta meet the main the same. Tell you, on the westbound train. Do me baby, little baby, yo. My train is bound way down west. Yeah. And our African style, you know, ain't no spoil. Tell you about the westbound train. Say, tell you about the choo-choo train on the westbound train.
You are listening to Reggae Kitchen.
Make believe so you got to believe.
Reggae Kitchen, Reggae Kitchen, Reggae Kitchen, Reggae Kitchen, Reggae Kitchen.
Reggae Kitchen.
What a nice smell. What a nice
smell, my dear.
This is where the magic is happening. The aubergine getting nice and golden, this golden brown, which is very nice. The oil is piping hot, very hot and boiling, and frying in the Parmigiana, very deep. Go ahead, chef.
Yes, sir. We are frying the aubergine. Gigi wants to talk a lot today, I know, but I'm cooking and I'm talking. So, the point is this. We are frying a lot of aubergine, which is going to take at least another 10 minutes, and then we're going to do our layers. The sauce is ready, and the layers will be the tomato sauce, the aubergine, basil, parmesan, and mozzarella cheese, and then layer. Usually we do 2, 3, let's say 3 layers, 4 layers. If you're very, very hungry, you can do also 5 layers, up to you. And then we're gonna slash some mozzarella on top, some parmesan, 160 degrees for 30 minutes.
Organ is played on this tune, and organ is actually an instrument of church, which is made represent the ritual that we're doing, which is cooking tonight. And we are delighted to have a chef with us, because the main theme of Reggae Kitchen is the ritual of cooking, which everyone can do it at home, and you can never taste a food good like that one that you cook. Is that true, chef?
Yes, of course, it's true. Actually, if you do your food home, it's better than go at the restaurant. I always say that. And when you cook, always wait a second. Always have a drink, which is the best thing to combine cooking and drinking.
But I should say, if you cook for us, it's even better.
Good. I'm almost there. I think we can play another tune and.
Of course, chef, of course, sir. We go ahead like that. Protégé and Key Money Marley. Big tune, 2013.
And she didn't know how to tell him she was in love with a Rasta man. Fire was burning and burning till I thought what she was holding in. And she didn't know how to tell him she was in love with a Rasta man. Fire was burning and burning till I thought what she was holding in.
Know her story before she said Daddy just wants her corporate. Find somebody that's corporate, suit and tie more appropriate. Him say him now make him daughter stray, but reggae music she start to play. I tell food when she start her plate. Militant youth where she want to date, and that is what she need. Marcus Garvey she start to read. Here stop home and it start look neat. So we won't keep her off the street from who she with. And that be me. More than a naughty head is what she see. No lover sleep is not for me. And she no won't keep it a secret, but she can't tell him who she sleep with.
She didn't know how to tell him she was in love with a Rasta man. Fire was burning and burning to let out what she was holding in.
And she wants to be free from all this captivity. So she'll be who she will be. They can't tell her who she need. They can't tell her who she want, who she can't. She talk her own a chant, chart her own a part, and color her own a art. Call me over her own apartment. Now as I answer the phone, that's the tone she start with. She knows that she don't be part with one like I, even though so much impart it. But she have to do her own a thing, cause she can never live life for them. Knowing that she will look back when to the time when she couldn't explain to him as them.
And she didn't know.
How you feeling, Miniman, after then the chef told you off?
A little bit humbled by the chef, but we know that the kitchen is a very hard place to work, and the chef knows well, so it's not unusual to get slapped on the hands.
That's right, you have to be cool and relaxed in the kitchen, especially when I'm in the kitchen and you are my slave, and shut up. So we are cooking tonight.
But this is a bit exaggerated. This is a bit overdoing it, chef. I think this is a bit exaggerated.
Yes, I think you're right. But
we are not in the 19th century anymore. We are in London, 2014, and this is a Reggae kitchen.
Okay, but we are cooking aubergine alla Parmigiana tonight. I'm almost finished to fry the aubergine. Because we are running off time, I'm gonna do a little tray instead of the big tray that I thought we were going to use. So it's gonna cook in the time that we have. Okay? I think we can play another tune and then I'm gonna show how to do the layers.
Perfect timing. Then Yuka, what shall we say? Shall we go with the other tune and then we prepare the question we're gonna ask the chef?
Of
tonight?
course, and next tune will be actually the hit of 2014.
Something that we proposed already on Reggae Espresso, but tonight we have the vinyl, the original vinyl version of this Overstand record from Protégé and Chronix 2014.
Who knows?
And it's a Protégé, eh? Chronics are where you say, eh? Okay.
Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows, sending love to my friends and foes, and I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. I provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees. Release, hey.
When me see Jah, me see a way. Drastically straight from hypocrisy, I say, hey. Every man to them own a philosophy. I live the proper way and then me read a chapter daily. Man, they in a city hungry and no eat. And food they down a country just a drop off of the tree then. You see say poverty no real then, is what the reason revealing.
Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows, sending love to my friends and foes. And I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. I provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees. Green leaves, yeah.
When the rain hits a pot on the roof, herb just a steam pepper pot on the stew. Life is a dream if you got gratitude. So go tell the regime them can't stop what we do now. Information you think on your own, or else you're a slave to the things that you know. What do you know if you learn every day? So be careful of things where you say.
Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows, sending love to my friends and foes. And I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. I provide all my wants and needs. I got the the sunshine, rivers and trees, green leaves.
Africa in our soul, but a Jah in our heart. It is of importance for I and I gather. If we cannot show now a balance that we had, how do we propose then to carry it abroad? Cannot go to Ethiopia and you not have a plan. The building of a nation and a helper on. Every one a lover, one a man is just a man. It shall be a coronation when we land.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows.
Yeah, man.
Sending love to my friends and foes.
And the recipe for today is
Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen.
Reggae Kitchen.
Back in the studio, the recipe of the day, of course, is melanzane parmigiana. There is lots of basil. I can see that.
Basil.
What are you doing, chef?
Okay, I'm gonna do the layers and then I'm gonna put the aubergine parmigiana in the oven and then we're gonna eat it in 20 minutes. So basically, it's like a lasagna made with aubergine. So what you do, you put your first ladle of the tomato sauce. Yeah, we're gonna do a small one because we run out of time. Yeah. So you put your tomato sauce, you put your layers of aubergine, already fried in vegetable oil, flour and egg. You do your lovely layer. If it doesn't fit, you just push it a bit. That's it. Bam, bam. Put more sauce. Okay. Ta-ta-da-da. It's very simple. It's not that difficult. Everybody can do it. Everybody can cook anyway. If you want, everybody can cook.
Chef, 3 questions.
Yes.
What's the best 3 cuisine in the world?
The best free cuisine in the world? Italian.
It's a very short answer, it is.
No. Italian, Chinese, and Japanese.
Chef, your favorite dish when you were a kid?
My favorite dish when I was a kid was paradisetto, which is a dessert made from my grandmother, where she used to boil up some milk and whisk it. So you have the foam, like the clouds in heaven, in the paradise. Yeah. And then some soft biscuits, but it's a very, very poor dessert, but it's really nice. Any other question?
Romantic dinner at yours. What do you cook her?
Fish, lobster, oyster, and
Oyster and lobsters.
And
lobster and oyster.
And if she doesn't like fish?
I give my fish. If she doesn't like fish, I just do a vegetarian meal. I can cook some Parmigiana with no cheese, with some vegan cheese. We can do a lovely sauté of vegetables. As you can see, we did only 2 layers because the aubergine were a bit thick. So and the tray is very small, really, really packed up of flavors. I'm gonna put a bit more basil. And then I'm gonna finish off first layer of parmesan and then some pieces of mozzarella cheese. Then I'm gonna crash some I'm gonna put some nice olive oil on top and then we're gonna go in the oven and then 20 minutes we are ready.
Time.
20 minutes time. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands.
Always wash your hands, right, chef?
Always wash your hands before and especially when you go to the toilet.
Always wash your knives and tools before using on something else.
Of course, if you can sanitize them, that would be the best. I'm gonna go with our lovely Parmigiana in the oven, 160 degrees for 25-30 minutes. Just to remind you all the ingredients for tonight: 4 aubergine, 500 grams of chopped tomatoes, 250 grams of mozzarella cheese, 100 grams of Parmesan cheese, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 eggs, vegetable oil, olive oil, fresh red chili, flour, a pinch of oregano in the sauce. Just to recap the method, we cut the aubergine, we put some salt on the aubergine, we took the water out from the aubergine, then we dry off the aubergine, and then we pass through flour and egg, and then shallow fry the aubergine until golden brown. While they were frying, we made the sauce, which was made with garlic, basil, and then chopped tomatoes, and a pinch of salt, and a pinch of oregano. So then we did the layers when the aubergine were ready and drained off from the oil on the absorbent paper. We did the layers, which is like a vegetable lasagna. So sauce, aubergine, sauce, mozzarella cheese, and then again like that until the top. We did only 2 layers because we were running out of time. As you can see, everything is live here, so you know we don't have a lot of time. We have to always do it quick, even the first show. And then it's 25 minutes in the oven, and then we're gonna see how it tastes.
Brilliant, brilliant, Chef Dario. Now it's time for another segment. It's time for Yuka's wine tips.
Wine tips. Well, Parmigiana is a summer dish, if you don't know, which goes well with loads of wine. We can recommend as a white wine a Pinot Grigio Torre Rosazza 2012 from Friuli, a northern region of Italy. Creamily and finely meshed with a bright spice note of ground ginger and cardamom, accenting notes of pastry, acacia blossom, blanched almonds, and candied lemon zest offers a stony, juicy finish. Drink now through 2018. But first choice for tonight is a rose wine from Puglia, Candido Le Pozzelle Salice Salentino 2011. Variety Negro Amaro, bright and coral in color, rich on the nose, opulent, floral with fine fruit. On the palate, the southern Italian stunner is dry, yet rich and elegant with layer complexity. It has aromas of cherry and meadow flower. It has texture, balance, and endless fruity appeal. Definitely worth sampling.
So 2 wines, Yuka, a white wine and a rosé wine, both from Italy, one from Friuli and one from Puglia.
Well, I should say then Parmigiana should go very well also with red wine. We can maybe recommend some red wine from Sicily, from south of Italy, but my favorite as a summer dish is a rosé wine. And I pick up one from my land, actually.
Well, actually, I would recommend also another red wine from Salento, which is the Primitivo red wine. I would say 2012, good year. And it combines really well with aubergine alla Parmigiana, if you don't like rosé, you know. Obviously, my dad used to say rosé is for women. So, you know, if you're a man and you don't like rosé, you can have a red wine, and I would recommend Primitivo. Gigi?
Well, I will drink it all. We are drinking Peroni tonight here in the Kirkstar Studios. Before you were drinking some rum, isn't it, Chef?
Yeah, I also show it on the camera, and I always recommend while you are cooking, you always should have a glass of wine, a glass of rum, a glass of alcohol that combines really well with whatever you do. The bell rang from the studio, and I would like to say hello, Franco. We didn't say nothing to... What's happening?
What's happening tonight?
Franco Monitor.
Franco Monitor. We ignore Franco Monitor all night long.
All night long. In fact, he's really upset.
He's really upset.
Exactly.
We'll try to make it up next month, maybe.
We should say then, if we are the Brixtonheights crew, we have our chef, but Franco is our master. He's like above of us, and he's looking of us. He's looking at everything is going right.
Our chef is the master tonight, and if he agrees, I'm gonna go with the last tune for tonight. Then there is the, of
I
course,
think you can
finish.
squeeze another tune. No? Or
Yeah?
no?
And then we go with the preparation.
Yeah. Yes.
Let's go with
With the
it.
preparation,
then.
with the eating.
With the plating, with the dishing up. Phantom Moja, so many problems.
King David offspring. Phantom Moja. Panata soldier. So many problems in the world. Who is gonna solve them? Only Selassie, the Most High. Him alone, yes, can solve them. So many problems in the world. Who is gonna solve them? Only Selassie, the Most High. Him alone, yes, can solve them. So what are the guns and the bombs and the nuclear fire? For the future generation, them a build be a war. The eagle and the dragon and the bear, them a bar. Them a fly to a Jupiter and fly to a Mars. Destruction, just what them searching for. None of them can stop the 7-point star. King Selassie, wow, the real tapanar. Get this now your head, ya star. So many problems in the world. Who is gonna solve them? Only Selassie, the Most High. And him alone, yes, can solve them. So many problems in the world. Who is gonna solve them? Only Selassie, the Most High. Him alone, yes, can solve them. Wow, they're trying their best to control the universe. John Pope at the second, Rastafari at the first. Lightning and thunder, volcano a go burst. The king a go forward, Babylon them a reverse. What them a go say no? What them a go do no? Who's come to shove and we a watch them a go down? Now is the time them better free my people from the shackles and chains and the evil. So many problems in the world. Who is gonna solve them? Only Selassie, the Most High. Him alone, yes, can solve them. So many problems in the world. Who is gonna solve them? Only Selassie, the Most High. Him alone, yes, can solve them. So what are the guns and the bombs and the nuclear fire? For the future generation, them a build be a war. The eagle and the dragon, the whole of them a bar. A fly to a Jupiter and fly to a Mars. Destruction, that's what them searching for. None of them can stop the 7-point star. But here King Selassie, the real tapanar. Just get this now your head, ya star. So many problems in the world. Who is gonna solve them? Only Selassie, the Most High. Him alone, yes, can solve them. So many problems in the world. Who is gonna solve them? Only Selassie, the Most High. Him alone, yes, can solve them. Wow, they're trying their best to control the universe. John Pope and the second, King Selassie are the first. Lightning and thunder, volcano a go burst. The king a go forward, Babylon them a reverse.
What a nice smell. Don't burn it, mate. Don't burn it.
Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen. Reggae Kitchen.
Reggae Kitchen.
Dishing up time. We arrived at the end of Reggae Kitchen with our chef Dario, who is gonna now take the precious jewel out of the oven.
Hot. It's hot. Sorry. 1 second. I put my lovely glove, the housewife glove for the oven. We have a lovely 100% Irish cow. Yes, here we are.
Hey, voila!
Our lovely Parmigiana just came out from the oven. I always say that the best way to eat Parmigiana is to wait, because once it comes out from the oven, then you have to wait at least, I would recommend, an hour. Yeah, because usually in the summer you don't really eat hot the Parmigiana. It's warm. Yeah, it's already warm outside. The temperature is warm. It's summer. And then you eat it, you know, for lunch on the beach. It's warm. It's warm. You warm it up before in the morning. You keep it in the container. You open it. You are in the beach. It's still warm, you know. So but it's not cold, it's warm. Yeah? And that is the best way because you want to cut it and it's like a slice of cake. So you can put it in a plate and then, what do you think?
I think actually that's a question I would like to address to you. Why there's many dishes, especially in Italian cooking, and Parmigiana is one of those, that are better to eat the day after?
Well, for the simple reason that if you prepare Parmigiana the day before, you can really intensify the flavor inside. So it's really very intense. So you cook it the next day, and then you rest it again for an hour, and then you're gonna have the all full flavor. If you eat it straight away, I'm not gonna say it's bad, but it has a little bit of a less flavor than,
I agree, actually. I don't know. I didn't know why, but the Parmigiana is one of the dishes that always taste better the day after.
And this was Reggae Kitchen. This was our first show for the season of Fusodub 2.0. And we are approaching the finishing line of the show by tasting the food our chef cooked, thankfully and mercifully.
I went to say hello to Franco Marinal tonight because we didn't really have a chat with him, even say hello all night. Anyway, I'm cutting, as you can see, it's like a cake, So you cut in a slice. Then I'm gonna get a plate, our lovely plate from the Kickstal Studio kitchen. And we're gonna share one portion in all of us, like homemade, home cooking, homemade style. So a lovely plate, 3 forks. You will never see our face, but you will always see my hand. So I have the Parmigiana here, as you can see, like a lovely cake. It comes out, you cut it a bit there, and a bit there. Here we are. Lovely Parmigiana, you can see it holds like a piece of cake. And then I'm not gonna taste it, I'll let the 2 guys taste it first, Yuka and Gigi, and you can tell me.
Thank you very much, chef. Miniman. Now you're not gonna listen us talking, because we'll be busy.
Just to remind you that you are in tune with Reggae Kitchen on fusoradio.net. You can link, we're gonna give you a link, which we're not gonna give you now because we are in a working process to understand where we're gonna show the video, but you can also have the link with the video on fusoradio.net. Sorry, some Italian comes out.
Chef is delicious, chef.
Delicious.
It's really delicious.
I should say there is.
Or you're just saying because we are on a radio program.
No. It's delicious.
It's
It's delicious even if it's hot, and it has a crispy layer on top, which is most probably made by the oil and mozzarella, which give like an authentic flavor, and inside is full of tomato and basil. It's it's one of my favorite dishes. So
it is, and I want to say that the aubergine is really soft and melty. Yes, maybe a touch of salt, but aubergine is the best. Well, now it's time to say goodbye to our listeners with our final theme song.
What are you gonna play?
Is Early B, certain food we eat. We can put it again.
It's nice. I put some salt, man.
Now it maybe tastes better. We're gonna go enjoy our le melanzane parmigiana. Next time, any idea, chef, for next time?
No, it's gonna be a surprise.
Surprise for you, dear listeners. And we say goodbye to the Brixtonheights crew.
And we say thanks God for the aubergine.
Bye-bye. Really nice, man.
Bye, chef. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Lobster and roach, I want family. Say I know any kind of food that we me eat. I know any kind of food that we me eat. How come we wake up this morning and we get some tea? The wife said that her bread, I can't make porridge. Don't feel no way, I that me a forgive. Say cool for me wife.
should have seen me this morning. Say with me basket. Hey, yeah. No me a chops, me rich a market. Pants and shirt and me dress so slick. Beer good food, the doctor a pick. I know any kind of food and where we eat. Say I know any kind of food and where we eat. Living in the country from I was 6. Never leave country till 10 plus 6. Now me come a Kingston, me want keep fit. I know any kind of food that way we eat. And we no mad over things like the thing needs. Mad over fish and we mad over greens. Carrot juice, the things so I stop. Although me slip, me know me come like rock. I know any kind of food that way we eat. That's say I know any kind of food that way we eat. Come me say crab and cockroach, I want family. Anything me eat, we come out to sea. I feel have scale, we give early deep. I know any kind of food that we eat. That's say I know any kind of food that we eat. Matter if expensive, no matter if it's cheap. Love for me flour, me yam and me greens. I with me okra, the on the side sitting. I know any kind of food that we eat. Fana, I know any kind of food that we eat. Barney, I know any kind of food that we eat. Eggland, I know any kind of food that we eat. No matter expensive, no matter them cheap. I know any kind of food that we eat. I know any kind of food that we eat. After me go a meat shop, buy 2 coffee, take 1 boiled soup and 1 boiled jelly. Now they damn fit and wet empty. Any kind of food that we eat, nowhere. I know any kind of food that we eat. Say I know any kind of food that we eat. Watching me wife come fit and healthy. She came me properly with no vitamin. So the thing me don't eat, forget vitamin. Me have to get that out a different thing. I know any kind of food the doctor eat. Hey. Say I know any kind of food a fan eat. Say I know any kind of food the glad eat. Hey. Say I know any kind of food so